Today's episode is brought to you by Maxi Pads, large apartment rentals for all your larger apartment needs. Again, if you're looking for a big size apartment, try Maxi Pads. Hey guys, welcome back to Dirk's Files and another flashback video. Today we're going to be looking at the car that started it all for me. Actually, this car started it all in all kinds of ways. This one is the one that set me on this modeling kick. This recent modeling kick. Let me rephrase that. When I was a child, there was what I call BV. That was the Badman kit back then. And then, of course, life took over, went through all kinds of changes. And then this one is what I would call the beginning of AV. Now, if you're wondering what that is, if you go back to way back to like my first video of how I got into modeling, it's all explained there. But for those of you that are too lazy to figure it out and go do that, because it's kind of actually a funny video. Was it the Christian calendar or the Roman calendar? I forget which one it is. I'm not an expert, but I believe that BC is before Christ. In the Dirk calendar, there is BV and AV. Okay, in other words, before vagina and after vagina. So the Badman was built when I was a kid before I discovered vaginas. This kit was afterwards, when I got all through those phases and everything like that, and it wasn't such a must-have kind of thing. I needed other things to occupy my time, and this is what I started on with modeling. This was gifted to me by my wife at the time. Well, at the time, she still is. She gave me this. Don't know why. I wasn't thinking about models, don't know where it came from. I just don't think she knew what to get me for Christmas, and she got me this and the Titanic model, the Revell Titanic model. So this is what I had. So I decided to build it. I love Mustangs. I had a Mustang just like this, except it wasn't a T5. And I'll get to that in a second, but it was a 65 Mustang Fastback, 289 4-speed. It was a great car. I loved it. It was beat to hell, and someday I'm going to model that car, because I have a goal to model all my cars. But anyway, the T5, this is a T5. For those that don't know, the T5 was the code word, the code that they used when they were talking and discussing the Mustang, okay? They've had, all car companies have different codes that they use. The T5 was the one for the Mustang. Then the car went into production. It was branded the Mustang, and they started selling and exporting the car to different countries. And when they got to Germany, there was a bit of a problem. Turns out the name Mustang was copyrighted by a German company. I think it was a railroad company, that makes railroad engines or something like that. I could be wrong. I used to know, don't know anymore, don't care that I don't know, but it has something to do like that. So they couldn't sell the car with the word Mustang on it, so they had to name it something else. So they rechristened the cars that went to Germany as T5s using the project name. And in order to do that, they had to remove the name Mustang from wherever the car had it labeled. In other words, the fender badges, they had to go, and they made new ones called, with the label T5 on it. The horn ring had the Mustang in it, and that was removed. The gas cap had Ford Mustang in it, that was removed, and it just said Ford. I think that's really all there was where it says Mustang on the car. I don't remember any others. But anyway, so it was a T5, and it went to Germany. I don't recall the number of cars that were produced for Germany. I don't remember the number of cars that are still existing with that original T5 name. I'm sure they still do. I just don't know anymore. But this was my interpretation of that. This is the Revell 2+2 kit. I went out and I bought the photo etch kit for this car. Who's the brand that makes them? I forget offhand. I forget. Doesn't matter. But I got the photo etch and decided to go to town on it. So the photo etch parts in this are the rocker panel molding, the T5 emblem on it, the 289 badge is photo etch. I think that's all I really used. Like I said, this was my first build. It was my first use, or actually my second use, because I worked on the Titanic with the airbrush, but it was my second use with the airbrush. So it's got, as you can see, considerable amount of orange peel. Now, at the time, I didn't know any better. I was asking around, and I was told that if you clear coat it, the clear would fill it in and make it smooth. Didn't know about wet sanding at the time, so it was too late because the car was assembled. I was told I could use the clear over top of the glass. It wouldn't matter, but as you can see, it kind of fogged them up a little bit. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It's still my first car build. I really enjoy it because, well, it is a T5 and I really enjoy them, so I don't care. Of course, the wheels are nice and glossy now too. I should go back and with some matte and just paint over the wheels to gloss them down a little bit. But the car is now 13 years old. I don't know what happened. This wheel got all cattywampus on me. I got to look at that. But the rocker molding on this side decided to fall off and somehow got bent. And those that work with photo etch know once it's bent, you ain't getting it fixed. Maybe I can find another set somewhere and I can reapply it. But for now, it is what it is. Excuse me. But basically it's box stock. I made, red paint. I did a white interior with the black carpeting. I think that looks really kind of cool. I wouldn't want it because it's going to be, bitch to keep clean, but it looks cool in the model form. The motor was wired. I used a wiring kit. Painted it black like the early 65s. Not too bad. I think the engine compartment came out pretty good. I like it. Ooh, that wheel is really loose. Got to figure that out. But yeah, it's a sharp kit. It's not perfect, but what it does for me is it helps me, to know where I came from and how I'm doing now compared to what I did 13 years ago. Sad fact is, it's not the models I produce now are not much better. But still, they're mine and I enjoy them. But yeah, this is the Revell T5 Mustang. Again, about 13 years old. You could still see some of the wax when I was trying to buff out the orange peel. There's still some wax in there. Yeah, you can see it in the trunk line, stuff like that. But it's a cool car. It's not perfect, but it's mine. I like it. So it sits on my shelf and it makes me happy to look at it. But yeah, so the Revell Mustang 2+2 as a T5 Mustang. Anyway, that's all I got for right now because you know what? It's too freaking cold to do anything. I'm in my basement. I've got a portable heater down here and still it is just too cold to do anything. I mean, I don't have a paint booth, but I still sneak in some painting every now and then when nobody's home. But it is just so cold, I can't do it. Just can't do it. So I'm stuck with stuff like this. So anyway, that's it for now, guys. Until next time, be strong. Oh, and stay warm.